Hello, everyone. Nobody's actually here yet, so we're gonna give it a little bit of time. And yeah. Hey, Big Feets. How are you, friend? Hope you're doing well. Oh man, what an afternoon, huh, Marie? What about it? What about this afternoon? Marie's sad like me, because unfortunately we just found out via Fred Minnick that looks like I had a rough day. Actually, I had a pretty all right day, but found out that Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond has officially been discontinued. So, in honor, I hate to waste once good stock, but that'll be our first pour of the show. Will be to a fallen friend and one that will be sorely missed. So, yeah, sucks a lot, y'all. But looks like the rumors are official. And one of the best daggone bourbons that we've ever had, especially at the price, is no more. So, cheers. What a shame. What a shame. Yeah, I know, guys. I know. I'm sorry. Come to Kentucky in the next couple of days, and maybe you'll get some, because it is certainly going to go fast. Well, welcome into the stream, folks. I'm happy that you guys are here. And oh wow. Sorry, had a buddy just send me something. We are going to be doing just a Heaven Hill episode now. I didn't really intend to, but it kind of happened that way. So starting out, of course, with the Bottled and Bond. Yeah, I'm gonna be buying a couple more bottles, probably at least a case over the next few days. So here's the deal. I'm gonna be drinking on just a couple of things, really, because it's still a little bit early and it's only a Tuesday. But so I had this kind of genius, not genius necessarily, but just kind of idea to try what I was thinking of as a Heaven Hill 4-grain last night. So yeah, only. So what I did was I mixed Elijah Craig, equal parts Elijah Craig and Larceny. And so that's what this is going to be, or what this is. And I'm going to let that sit for a little bit to kind of mingle before I drink it. But I tried it last night and I really liked it. And it's just regular Elijah Craig small batch and regular Larceny. And hey, what's up, Jason? Hope you guys have had a good Tuesday. Unfortunately, again, for anybody who's just coming in, we just got word that our good friend Heaven Hill 6-year Bottled and Bond is being officially discontinued. And that's what I am starting out with today, because it only seems right. It only seems fair. So, what's everybody drinking today, by the way? Let me know. 21 shot salute. I'd be dead. But yeah, that seemed appropriate, doesn't it? I know it's a little bit earlier than it normally is, but I haven't seen my wife much recently, and she's out of the house right now, but I wanted to kind of go ahead and do this today, because Tuesday is normally when I do live streams anyway. And I wanted to do this today at this time because, I wanted to spend time with her later. But anyway, so a couple of things. to take care of. The first thing is that, of course, this past weekend was unfortunately only one day of Bourbon and Beyond. Saturday was a great day. It was a lot of fun. Sorry, the cats are running around. Saturday was great. We had a lot of fun getting to meet a whole bunch of new people and doing interviews with them. And unfortunately, the heavens just opened up on us Saturday night, and we wound up with basically a giant mud pit in Champions Park in Louisville, and so they had to cancel the second day of it, and it really sucked because we had a whole bunch of good stuff that was lined up, and it happens. Of course, we can't control the weather. Thank you. This is Marie. See, that's Marie. She's my little podcast dog, aren't you? You're not very quiet for podcasting though. She thinks somebody's HERE. Anyway, so we only got one day out of it, but I did luckily get to cover Sunday with a couple of different interviews, and one of them was getting to sit down with Fred Minnick, and I went and had lunch with him too that afternoon, along with his friend Paul Blackburn and Autumn from the Jephthah Creed distillery. So I mean, Sunday wound up being a lot of fun, but it just wasn't what I expected it to be. However, everything that we recorded on Saturday plus one interview from Sunday is going to be coming out tomorrow as our episode of the week. And then all the seminars and the workshops that I got to participate in or sit in for, I recorded the audio for, and those are going to be released as Patreon exclusives at patreon.com/MyBourbonPodcast. So if that is something that interests you, and I definitely want to encourage you to do that because they were really cool and a lot of fun, and you can find those there. Those are going to be available for all patrons, actually, starting probably tomorrow or Thursday, within the next couple of days. I'm a little busy kind of coming up, but I'll be sure to let you know, of course. This is the best daggone $12 bottle of bourbon. And it's just gone. It's unfortunate. Man, and I feel like that's just keeps it's so funny because it keeps happening with Heaven Hill products recently, but places like Buffalo Trace aren't experiencing this as much. I mean, sure, you can't get Blanton's like we used to, but it's still around. Buffalo Trace is really starting to make a comeback too. Weller even is starting to crop up a little bit more, but it's just so strange that Heaven Hill has taken this turn into just eliminating Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond 6-year bourbon altogether. I mean, it's just gone now. And so, I mean, of course, I'm going to be buying up a couple of bottles at least over the next few days, as long as it's still around. What's the nationwide release they're replacing it with? I don't know for sure. I have heard, though, that it's going to be an 8-year age statement, and it's going to be $40. Dumb. And a bottle of Oktoberfest Sam Adams. Sam Adams Oktoberfest and Buffalo Trace Bourbon are the two. That is maybe my favorite beer and bourbon pairing. I love those two. So if you have some Buffalo Trace sitting around after you finish up your larceny, highly recommend trying that out, Big Feets or Chris. I'm just calling you Big Feets. I keep establishing that. Cat's got a new cat tree, and they're still freaking out over it. Hey, what's up, press man? Drinking High West Boo Rye and Elijah Craig Barrel Proof C917. Well, I am in a little bit actually going to be reviewing batch B518 of Elijah Craig, which I'm super excited about. I haven't actually opened this bottle yet. I got it last weekend at the Kentucky Bourbon Fest. Hello, sweet girl. Marie wants to play. Marie hasn't had anybody home. Hey, Brett. Yeah, I am super pumped about getting to open this. I'm trying not to be as down as, I feel like I am because, finding out about Heaven Hill, about it being official that it's going away it's really put a damper on on my day. I said to Chad a little bit ago, this has it's made this Tuesday kind of feel like a Monday, unfortunately. But I don't know, maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe I'm overreacting. Hello, honey. Hello, my sweet girl. She's a little booger. Okay. Well, I'm gonna finish this off so I can move on. It is a funeral. It's a wake. I see it as more of a wake. So let's see. Let's go with larceny next. Cause I freaking love this bourbon. And I want to kind of prime my palate between the as I'm dubbing it, the Heaven Hill 4-grain, which I'm really excited for. Which for anybody who just came in, I just did a little blend of Elijah Craig small batch and larceny. So I just wanted to kind of let it mingle for a little bit, and I will go through. Berlioz, he's a mess. I'm just gonna let it mingle for a little bit, and then I'm gonna try it out. I apologize if it's a little bit dark in here. By the way, my living room is not the brightest place in the world. But yeah, I can't wait to try it either. C917 was the first barrel proof Elijah Craig you've had. It is great. Yes, absolutely. They do need to make more money, unfortunately. Lots of haze going on. Glad everybody is having a good time so far. So what's funny about larceny for me is I went through a little bit of a period where I couldn't palate it. I don't know what it was, but I just couldn't drink it no matter what. It tasted way underaged. It tasted almost sour, and it had this really strange metallic flavor to it as well. And so I stopped drinking it for probably about 6 months, and then I came back to it. Isn't that right, Marie? I came back to it, and all of a sudden I just loved it again. And precious. Hi. Here's my little baby, my big baby. My big baby had to go get her nails clipped today, and she was not happy about it. Do I ever? Oh, hi. Do I ever run my blends through an aerator? No, I don't. What's that do to it? What do I think the 6-year juice is going to become? So the rumor, I was saying this earlier, is that it's actually going to become 8 years old and going to be $40, which super sucks. But it's going to go national, so more people are going to try it. But unfortunately, that means that it's going to be a premium product, and it's just not going to be as I have a feeling that it's going to be. I'm worried about it. We'll say that much. Isn't that right? Yeah, we're all worried about our Heaven Hill bottled and bond, aren't we? Yeah. Opens it up, mixes it, works great with a new bottle pop too. Oh, okay, cool. Will's drinking Turkey 101. Screw it, I just did the same thing. Larceny Elijah Craig small batch. Why not? Yeah, man, it's a good. It's a fun little 4-grain experiment, but. So Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond now becomes an 8-year Heaven Hill. Pretty much, I mean, it's going to be a Bottle and Bond still too, but the 6-year is just gone altogether. Let me read you what Fred's tweet was earlier. He said, I'm just quoting verbatim. He said, "The day has come. You can end the rumors. Value Bourbon just died a little today. Due to demands of its stocks, Heaven Hill says we made the decision to eliminate sales of Heaven Hill 6-year-old bottled and bond Kentucky straight bourbon altogether." So, I mean, that's, I trust Fred Minnick a lot. His opinion means a whole lot to me, and I trust him, and so I know that he's getting this information from a reliable source, and that's that, unfortunately. Let's see. It will be fun to compare them blind. Yeah, it absolutely will, as long as I can hold on to one of these bottles for a little bit longer. But I'm sure I will, because like I said, I'm gonna try to get at least like a case of it soon, because So anyway, back to this larceny. Like I was saying, I went through a period where I just couldn't drink it because I didn't think it was very good. It didn't taste very good to me. And I've really come back around to it, honestly. Boy, it just got real dark outside. We've been having strange weather. Oh, peanut butter. Sorry, just got like a whiff of a big wave of peanut butter. Like peanut butter cookies. That's exactly what it is. This is what larceny has always what it always tasted like to me before it went sour for some reason. Anything compared to that on the market right now? Evan Williams bottled and bond, I guess. If you can find Very Old Barton bottled and bond, but even still, I don't think it's nearly as good. Early Times bottled and bond, I think, is kind of up there too. I think Early Times bottled and bond is probably the best comparable value, although you're going to be paying more money. You're paying about $23 to $25 for it, and I can't remember if it's only in Kentucky or if they've actually expanded out into other places around the country. But if if you're around, I would say that that's probably your best bet in terms of value and overall quality. I haven't had Evan Williams bottled and bond in a little while, though. It's probably been close to it's got to have been less than that. I would say probably end of last year was around the time that I had it last. And I think that was because I had a bottle that I was trying to kill off. And I just kind of wanted to get rid of it. Did you bring me something? What'd you bring me? Did you bring me this ball? You good girl? You want it? So you don't want to take it from me? Sorry, she's been lonely. I love Evan Williams bottled and bond. If it's better than that, Old Granddad bottled and bond is guts. Oh yeah, that's a good point. I completely forget about that. I mean, always I forget about Old Granddad bottled and bond. That is a really solid drinker, especially at $20. Yeah, I think that's the thing too, is that Evan Williams bottled and bond is now, going to be seen as the new Heaven Hill bottled and bond. And it's essentially the same bourbon. I'm assuming it's just aged 1 to 2 more years. Heaven Hill bottled and bond is than the Evan Williams bottled and bond. So I mean, it could very well be that Evan Williams bottled and bond becomes the new bourbon for cheap daily drinkers, for value bourbons. What are you doing up there, Berlioz? He's a mess. He's got a lot of energy. Yeah, man, larceny's good stuff. Larceny's really good stuff. I really enjoy it. Now prices are so expensive in Jersey. I was watching a video of some guys from Texas and they pay way less than I do. Yeah, man, even as opposed to Kentucky, Texas has a lot better prices for bourbon. I mean, you can find Weller in Texas for like $20, whereas here it's like $25 to $30 on the shelf if you can find it. But sorry, I just keep like the larceny keeps rolling over my tongue, and it's so good. It's so good. You have Evan Williams bottled and bond in Jersey or Weller? Yeah, definitely road trip. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, boy. Okay. So my next one, I'm switching over to good old Elijah Craig small batch. Now, I have said repeatedly, that was a good little pop, that Elijah Craig might be my favorite bourbon of all time. And honestly, I think I kind of stand by that. It's really well-rounded. It's extremely well balanced. It has everything that you love about bourbon, but just introduces this really nice spice note to it that complements the caramel and the cinnamon and excuse me, I've always said it's like a snickerdoodle cookie. And I think it's just fantastic. You get on that train, Gateway Bourbon. I see that. Yeah, Elijah Craig is kind of like that next step that you take past like Woodford and Makers, and it's on the road to things like Knob Creek Small Batch, even Knob Creek Single Barrel. It's on the road to other bourbons like I'm drawing a blank. Even like Turkey 101. I mean, it's just introducing a lot of that taste. You think it tastes like weed? Really? Huh. Interesting. You, sir, must have gotten a bad bottle. I would bet that you got a bad bottle. Oh, Evan Williams Bottle and Bond. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I haven't had it in a while, so I have to revisit it to really know how I feel about it. So, our 50th episode is actually coming up on the podcast, and I probably will actually save that for a revisit for the 50th episode, and that might also be when we formally review Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond, because we talk about it all the time, but we don't actually, we haven't actually reviewed it or anything. And it might be a moot review at this point, because the fact that it's about to go away. But we'll see. For anybody who doesn't know, the first episode that we did a blind, well, I can't remember what we called it. We called it a budget bottled and bond bourbon blind battle. Yeah, that's what it was. It was a blind battle. And it was Evan Williams Bottled and Bond, Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond, and Very Old Barton Bottled and Bond. And yeah, it was a good little, test to see how we did. It's my backpack band from Bourbon and Beyond that somebody chewed up already. I was only gone for like 6 hours today, and they chewed it up. But anyway, what are you doing, Booger? You trying to get under? You trying to go in your cave? All right, go on. Sorry. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, it was a nice kind of introduction to seeing, what our palates could do with not a whole lot of training, or introduction to certain things. So, I kind of want to revisit that maybe for the 50th episode, maybe for the 100th episode. Fortunately, our 50th episode and our 1 year anniversary fall on the same week. So we're going to kind of be doing a big blowout for that. Would I put Buffalo Trace in the same family as Elijah Craig, or is Elijah Craig superior based on proof? No, for me, it's not necessarily the proof that makes Elijah Craig superior. It's just the overall flavor. I love Buffalo Trace, don't get me wrong, but I just think that it has, Elijah Craig has more to offer. Hold on one second, if you don't mind. Take this lampshade off and see if it offers more light. I think that might do something. Oh, hey, yeah, that definitely helped. That helped a lot. You only see the 80 proof Heaven Hill. That's because you're not in Kentucky, right, Pressman? Because that is available. Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond is only available in Kentucky. So you're not going to be finding it outside. But unfortunately, again, it's going away here very soon. What's great, too, about Elijah Craig, is that it does still maintain some of those really sweet, like peanut butter flavors that I got from Larceny. But again, it's so well rounded, and I'm constantly impressed by how much I enjoyed this 94 proof bourbon that you get for like $25 to $30. I mean, I think it's fantastic. Marie's going to sleep. She's tired. I don't know what from, but in that right. In that right. Use a sweet girl. Use a sweet girl. Yeah. Anyway, I would really like to try this little mingle that I have, a little blend that I have made. So anyway, this one's going to take me a little bit because there's quite a bit more in it. I didn't intend for that to happen. But anyway, hey, while I'm doing this, what questions do you guys have? Maybe about Bourbon and Beyond, or the episode that's coming out tomorrow, or what's in the future for the podcast? Because we got a lot of exciting things coming up. Do I like Larceny over Makers? Yes, I do. I think it tastes a lot better and it's cheaper. So I definitely preferred Larceny over Makers. And I feel like it's, it's just made better overall. Did I get to see any of the musical acts on Saturday? Okay. Yes and no. So I'm not going to get into it too much, but unfortunately I had to leave early Saturday night to take care of a couple of things. So John Mayer was actually who I really wanted to see, and I didn't get to see him on Saturday night. But it doesn't matter. That's a story for another time. Anyway, we were so busy on Saturday that the most that I was able to hear music was just kind of in passing. So let me explain to you kind of. Didn't know if Lucy was home. No, I love John Mayer, man. He's one of my favorites. He's an incredible guitar player. So here's how Saturday went for me. Hey. What? Barking dog. Sorry. So I don't know where my spray bottle is. You're fine. You're fine. Hey, look, ball. Come here. Go get the ball. All right, never mind. So Saturday. So we got there. The park was supposed to open at about 11 or 11:30. And no, I think it's a person. Maybe another dog. I'm not sure. Hey, John Belushi. What's up? Welcome to the chat, man. Happy to have you along for this. So we were supposed to get it to the park. We got to the park around like 10:30. And so we waited in line to, go through security and everything. And we just had some time to kill. So we were able to walk around the park and check out, where we needed to go, checked into the media tent, got our passes and everything. Let them know who all we had scheduled to interview. And then we had to go off to our first seminar. And what it was supposed to be was a discussion led by Fred Minnick, where he talked to Eddie and Jimmy Russell. Yeah, man, I know. I was ahead of the curve on it, but I hate that it's official, dude. It sucks, man. And anyway, so we what happened was it was supposed to be a seminar with Jimmy and Eddie Russell, but unfortunately Jimmy's sister-in-law passed away, so the Russell family was not able to make it. So Fred instead moderated a little panel that was just kind of a tribute to the Russell family. And it was really cool. It was a lot of fun. Then we had a little bit of time to kill and ate some, and then had another workshop where we got to try cocktails and everything. And then we had to go over to the media tent. And so the let me get back to your question here in just a few minutes too, after I finish up this story. So the way that the park was set up was there were the two main stages were over here, let's say, okay. And then all the way across the park, probably about 100, 125 yards away, was where the Bourbon Plus tent and the MASH stage tent were, and that's where the seminars were. So we had to run all the way from there over to where the media tent was to start our interviews. And we were doing our interviews while there were bands playing and while all this other stuff was going on. So every time that somebody was playing that we kind of wanted to hear, we were just running back and forth. And then we would get caught, talking to people, or we would be in one of the like backstage tents where we would be hanging out, especially with like Chad and Sarah. Yeah, I'm talking about Bourbon and Beyond, and yeah, it was canceled the second day. Yeah, it's pouring right now. And I'm in Richmond, Kentucky. Anyway, so every time that we wanted to hear somebody, we just didn't have time for it. And so we were just running back a whole bunch. And like I said, too, I had to leave early. So I didn't get to catch most of Lenny Kravitz's set. I didn't get to catch any of John Mayer's. Yeah, I went to EKU. She was very tired on Sunday. Chad and Sarah had a lot of fun on Saturday. They were a mess. I'm happy that they were able to still do their live stream on Sunday afternoon. But yeah, but unfortunately, like I said, it was canceled on Sunday because of weather. So that's that. Will, you asked me earlier too what I was most excited for this fall. I would have to say that I'm really excited for the new Old Fitz release. I think that's going to be incredible. Of course, I'm always looking forward to the BTAC line, especially, of course, William LaRue Weller. That was my best bourbon of last year, which I'm going to kind of revisit how I do my best bourbons in terms of year. This coming year, it's going to be a little bit different this time around. But stay tuned for that. Let's see what else. I saw that Woodford just announced they had 2 different Masters Collection bourbons coming out, and I'm just like, I don't really care that much. I'm not a big Woodford fan, but that's just me. Yeah, there are a few. I saw that Old Forester 1910s coming out soon too. Their next release in the Whiskey Row series, which I'm pretty excited for. I like 1920 a whole lot, so I want to try it for sure. I don't know if I would buy a whole bottle, but we'll see. Did I get a bottle of President's Choice? No, I have not gotten it yet, but I would at least like to try it. I know Chad and Sarah loved it, and so yeah. So here's what I did for this little glass that I have. I did what I'm officially dubbing Heaven Hill 4-grain, which is equal parts Elijah Craig small batch and Larceny very special small batch. And I've just kind of been letting this mingle since I started, so about 35 minutes ago. And I would like to do a whole, bottle blend of it too to see how it goes, but I'm not entirely sure that I would ever do that. And reminder too, a little bit later on, I'm going to get to the Elijah Craig barrel proof B518. I'm going to review that here in a little bit. Mixed your own while I told my story. Awesome. What are my thoughts on King of Kentucky? Not good. Actually, it was pretty good from what I remember. I have an episode of my show with Chad and Sarah where we review it, and Chad and Sarah kind of got into it, but they got into a pretty heated debate on their review of it. And I just thought that it was okay. I didn't think that it was good enough to pay like whatever it was, like $160, $170. So yeah, like 180. That's what it was. Yeah. Mix your own. Larceny in Maker's Cask is tasty. I saw somebody say that today and say that that was like a new take on Poor Man's Pappy. I just don't know. I don't know about it. I'm going to have to try it sometime, much like I'm about to try this. Yeah, I like Maker's Cask quite a bit, Monica. It made it sound like great. Yeah. All right, guys. Cheers. Let's check out how this is. Yeah, E.H. Taylor's popping up a little bit here as well. I'd like to find a bottle of the Barrel Proof if I could. Okay, what's everybody think about this? Because this is really good. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think it's a fabulous little blend. And I'd be interested to see what it would be like if I let it mingle for a little bit longer than just, 35, 40 minutes. It is super nutty. Yeah. But it's funny because independently, with both of these bourbons, I got like peanuts, but I'm not quite getting that with this one. It's more like a cashew, I would say. Jason, I saw that you posted about that earlier today too. I also like it. Maker's Cask you find to be spiky and youthful. Interesting. Yes, I did do an equal mix. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you one thing that it does is it establishes a mouthfeel that is not existent in either of these independent of one another. And it becomes a really nice, silky mouthfeel. I think the finish is wonderful. It becomes this like peanut brittle with a little bit of, I would say, like flowers to it, like a little bit of floralness to it. Man, this is good. This is good stuff. Do I enjoy the David Nicholson 1843? It is a weeder. Yeah, I just found out that it's a weeder. But it's not a weeder? The David Nicholson Special Reserve. How crazy is that? I just found that out on Sunday from Kevin DiDio, who is there. It was Lex Rose. Oh, what is his title? He is their distillery experience manager or something like that. And I was talking to him about that on Sunday, and I couldn't believe that one of them was a weeder and one wasn't, even though it was the same brand name. I mean, it just kind of blew my mind. But yeah. I don't have much of a hug on mine. I have a little tiny bit, but it's not overly prevalent. Do I like any scotch? I haven't really found a scotch yet that I like, but I'm always open to trying things and, finding out if I like it. Is that Elijah Craig small batch? Yes, it is. Good old regular 94 proof Elijah Craig small batch. Maybe a little bit of a warm, fuzzy feeling. I agree. Does have a bit of a kick, but, I think overall this is a very pleasant little blend. It's a high rye. Okay, so there we go. Surprisingly good. Yeah, Chad and Sarah enjoyed Special Reserve 1843, not so much. Maybe I need to revisit the 1843. I feel like you know what? Maybe I haven't had it. Now I really think about it. I don't think I've had it. How about that? I like cashews too. Yeah. Heaven Hill Weeder. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I'm definitely going to. I think what I'm going to do is my last blend was a weeder blend, just straight wheat bourbon. Silky and Burn. Maybe a little bit of burn on the back end of the palate, but nothing too bad. I like it quite a bit. I'm gonna let this mingle. Yeah, and like an old Fitz bottle. Yeah. I think I'm gonna do a whole mix of this. I mean, probably no more than like 8 ounces overall, because I don't want to mess up, too much of it. But my last blend that I did was 3 different wheated bourbons, and you can hear about that on the show too. And that was a lot of fun. Um, but I would really like to, keep trying different blends. I'm always interested in finding new things. And, if I can improve a couple of things that I don't like by blending them, then I'm happy to do that instead of just wasting a whole bottle of, I mean, I'm not a big fan of Cabin Still. Almost a full bottle of Cabin Still. I'm just not going to drink, you know? So, you know, who's Chad? Did you mean Chris? Oh well. Anyway, I'm actually going to be hanging out with Chad and Sarah tomorrow. Along with my dad, we're going to be recording an episode. So I'm going to keep letting this mingle because I want to get on to the main attraction, which is the review, the Elijah Craig Small Batch Barrel Proof B518 release, which I have not opened yet. Got it last weekend, like I said, at the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. I am very excited for this. The B517 and the C917 were both 2 of my favorite bourbons from last year. I unfortunately didn't get to try the C917 until after 2017 was over. But yeah, more of a spooning and not a huck. Yeah, man, it is gone, unfortunately. Enjoyed my Booker's Live. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite barrel proofs as well. And I think what's great about Booker's is that it is consistently good, but it's good in different ways. Whereas, something like Elijah Craig Barrel Proof stays pretty consistent in terms of quality and what you can kind of expect, but it doesn't, not surprise me. I mean, I'm still surprised when I try new releases of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, but it seems like Booker's is just constantly changing, and I love that. I love that about it. 65 for this? Yes. Mm-hmm. That was water, by the way. I was trying to clean out that glass. All right. Ready for the first cork pop? Oh, that was a great one. Oh, man. I could hear it coming. That's fantastic. Okay, so a couple of stats on this. Oh boy. Okay, I was not expecting the proof to be that high, but here we are. It's 133.4, and it's 12 years old, non-chill filtered. So, uncut, unfiltered, 12 years old. I'm very excited about this. More variation in the Booker's. Still got to have that nut. Yeah, for sure. So, I don't think I'm emotionally ready for this. Because I loved the B517 so much. And I really loved the A118 too. Okay. Somebody give me a drum roll. Jason, give me a drum roll. Wow. So it's reminiscent of the A118. And then it has this like maple sugar quality to it. Maple syrup, actually, more than maple sugar, because I don't know what maple sugar is. I'm thinking of maple syrup here. It's like caramel syrup, too. Like a maple caramel syrup. The oak is really nice and light, and kind of hugs the rest of the nose on it. The heat is almost non-existent, even though it's 133 proof. I mean, seriously. 1 minute per year. Well, I'm already 45 minutes in, so the more I swirl it around, the more I do get some heat on it, for sure. Well, you guys keep saying like I need to let it sit and aerate a little bit more, but I I mean right off the bat, like I'm not questioning whether or not I need to, do that because it already smells so good. Um, my dad just tried Castle and Key vodka, and he's telling me right now whether or not it's good. It's okay, Dad. Take your time. Hey, Joe Green, welcome in. Will, you are coming down to Kentucky next month. Are there any recommended stops? Depends on what part of Kentucky you're coming to. If you're coming to Lexington, you should let me know because I would love to say hello and maybe have a drink with you. Anytime that anybody comes into Kentucky, let me know because I am always happy to hang out with you guys. Yeah, it's definitely my dad to get in on the podcast. And he said it's amazing. So, and I really liked the Castle and Key gin too, so I'm not surprised that the vodka is really good. Will, if you're coming, oh Joe, yeah, that's right, man. That's right. Oh man, I'm so excited for that. That's gonna be a lot of fun. We're having a little meetup in Kentucky, but I can't say anything else about it because it's kind of a secret. But anyway, Will, just you know what? Send me an email. This is my bourbon shop at gmail.com, and we will be able to talk about it further. Because there's too much to get into, obviously, on this live stream. And maybe you do goodbye, William. I'm sorry. But yeah. Just had a new subscriber on YouTube, Christian. Thank you for subscribing. I don't know if he's on here right now or not, but I do appreciate that. So last live stream, Monica brought up doing oh, look, you're right there. Hey, buddy. So last week, Monica brought up doing a giveaway once we got to maybe a certain amount of viewers, but I was kind of thinking maybe more like a certain amount of subscribers on YouTube. So I'm kind of thinking right now, if we can get this to, okay, here's my thought process on this. Let's do tiers with it. So let's say we get to 100 subscribers, that'll be a giveaway. We get to 250, that'll be another. We get to 500, and then we kind of, keep going up and up. So the only way that this is going to work, because I promote this like crazy, and I'm still kind of trying to find my footing with YouTube, is if you guys share these videos and the YouTube channel and the social media and everything. So that is only going to increase your chances of winning in this giveaway, is by sharing, because that means that it's actually going to happen. So here's what I'm going to propose. I'm going to propose that everybody who is watching this, whether it's on the replay or live, shares this video, shares our social media, so that we can not only get more listeners to the podcast, more subscribers, but more subscribers on YouTube as well, so that more people are in here regularly. Because let's be honest, there's only 9 of you guys in here right now, and I really would like to see that number jump as much as possible. So go share that after we're done here. Posting that to the Whiskey Gallery. Awesome. Cool. I really want to make this happen. I think that it would be perfect. Yeah, go get Dustin too. Um, Anybody who is, oh yeah, I mean, I love you guys. I love that 9 of you guys are here because I mean, that means that, you're the 9 people who care to hang out with me on a Tuesday evening and, want to hear me talk about bourbon and want to watch me drink bourbon and hang out. But, I want more people to be a part of this too because this has been a lot of fun and I want everybody else to see how much fun it is. So definitely go and share this video as well as all of our, social media links, my social media links rather, because I want to make something of this. And I love Monica's idea of doing a giveaway once we hit a certain number of subscribers. So that's all I'm going to do in terms of promoting until we get to the end of the episode, because I have a glass of bourbon sitting right here that smells fantastic and that I would really like to drink. But I gotta say, the more that it sits in this freaking glass, the more it just smells like a rick house. And it reminds me so much of the A118. So far, though, this has a better nose than the A118. And in my rating system, I think I gave the nose on the A118 a 3.5. So this is probably closer to a 4 or a 4.5. Okay. Guys, let's say one thing first and foremost. Cheers to the future. Cheers to the past. Cheers to those who have left us. And cheers to memories that last. Wow. Wow. Holy crap. So immediate reactions. Immediate reactions. A very thick mouthfeel. Super oily. Seriously, like you've just kind of had a little bit of syrup, like on your pancakes or something. So full of flavor. My goodness. There are some so there's so many layers to it. At the top of it, I feel, is the sweetness, and then it moves into like the oak and the earthiness, but the earthiness is kind of like a leafy green, which I don't think I've ever experienced on a bourbon before. But hey, Dad's here. What's up, Dad? Man, this is incredible. Let's go for another drink, though. I liked the first sip better than I did the second one, but the second one is still incredible. Wow. Wow, that's so good. I tell you, I mean, I would not have thought that this would be a 133 proof bourbon. How's it compared to Stag Junior? Man, I think I would take Elijah Craig Barrel Proof hands down. Any release of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof over Stag Junior. And I love Stag Junior. I really do. But if you put the two in front of me, I would say Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. Dad's got Evan Williams single barrel. Then Weller Special Reserve. I'll talk to you later as well, Dad. And sentimental moment of the night. Love you too. Anyway, let's drink some bourbon, please. Dang, this has really opened up. I mean, 5 or 10 minutes of just sitting here and chatting. I mean, this is an incredible barrel proof bourbon. Okay. Monica, he'll probably get a little bit out in this rain. It's still raining here too. I mean, I'm only 30 minutes south of my dad, but I can only imagine what they're getting up there. Okay, so I just added about 5 drops of water to this to see how it opened up. Sipping on Stag Jr. Can't find Elijah Craig Barrel Proof here yet. It'll make its way. It'll make its way around. I mean, it's so funny how it takes its time working around the country, but I think that it'll probably make its way to you. So just even a little bit of water has kind of quelled some of those weird notes. Not weird necessarily, but the stronger notes that I was getting on the nose. And I don't know if I like it as much with water as I do just straight. As far as the nose goes. Puppy's sleeping. Puppy's tired. For anybody who came in a little bit later, there's the dog. Here she is. Can't really see her. It's a little dark in here. I apologize. Anybody who's in, welcome. I don't know who's, come in later on. But I am doing a little review of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof B518. So... a little bit of water. It's funny, a little bit of water doesn't really help this one that much. It doesn't smooth too many things out. Hi, Dustin. My buddy Dustin Whitaker. So at Southern Whiskey Society, Dustin likes to tell the story of how I went handful in on some loaded fries, but anyway, look at you guys making connections in Indiana. I love seeing the bourbon community outside of Kentucky, outside of social media and everything. I think that's awesome. I was actually so for Bourbon and Beyond, I stayed in Indiana. I stayed in Clarksville, and I was not super crazy about Clarksville, but that's just me. And made with friends with a light pole. Oh, I made friends with a light pole. Okay, yeah. That's a very funny video, too. I'm glad you guys love Kentucky. Well, Monica, I mean, that means that you're not too far away, so you can come to Kentucky and visit us sometime, too. I understood what you meant, Dustin. Okay, so let's talk specifically about this Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. Nose, I would say, and I'm going to review this in the way that I normally do on my show. Nose, I would say it would have to be a 4. I think that it's very robust. And by the way, everything's out of 5. So don't think I'm giving it a 4 out of 10. So everything's out of 5. So the nose is definitely a 4. It's extremely robust. It's extremely well-rounded. It introduces flavors that I've never found on a bourbon before, barrel proof or otherwise. And I just think that this is, man, so good. So good. Palate is where it lacks a little bit for me. And I go back to that second sip that I had of it. So I'm going to give it a 3.5, which is not terrible. Of course, it's not terrible by any means, but I think that the palate on this one is a little bit lackluster. Honestly, it has what I'm hoping and looking for, but I kind of feel like this should be amped up a little bit higher than what I was expecting. But that's, expectations are only good as, what we think. But anyway, finish is really long and warm. I think the Kentucky hug is definitely there. Whew, man. There isn't a whole lot that's introduced flavor wise on the finish, but it's just, I think it's a very enjoyable one that makes me want to go back to it. So I'm going to give it a 3.5. So what am I up to? I'm up to an 11 so far. Price still, I mean, there aren't a whole lot of barrel proof bourbons out there at $65. So I think, I'll see what's on. I think I'm going to have to give it a 4. I think 65 is really, really good for this particular product. And especially just kind of as barrel proof bourbons go. I think it's really solid. So what did I say? 4 for that. So that's like a 15 out of 20 overall for me. And I mean, that's that's just kind of a pretty solid recommend for me. There haven't been a whole lot of things that I've given higher than that on the show. And I think that it's, if you can find it, oh, awesome. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. Get her in, get her to get her to the meetup too, Joe. It'd be fun. But yeah, I think that it's a very solid bourbon, especially at $65 and barrel proof. But I think that I liked the B517 better than I did the B518, but that's just me. I like the A118 a little bit better than I did this one as well, but I might have to go pull the A118 down so I can compare, at least from recent memory. But anyway, that about does it for me. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Again, please go share this video. Please share the YouTube channel and everything. I am super new to YouTube in terms of doing like this whole live stream thing. I'm going to try to put up more content for YouTube over the next month, probably closer to the beginning of next year, when I'm really going to make the YouTube like more of a thing. But I definitely want this to flourish. But go share this. I would really, really appreciate that. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me this evening. If you would like to follow up with us on social media, we're at My Bourbon Pod on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can send us an email at thisismybourbonshop@gmail.com. Head to bourbonshop.threadless.com for all of our apparel and everything. If you want to become a patron of the show, go to patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast. And for as little as $1 a month, you can really help us out. We are, slowly but surely on our way to, our Patreon goal, but we'll get there. We'll get there eventually. I just, I appreciate everybody who's helping out so far. Rate and review on iTunes. Be on the lookout for the new episode that's coming out tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun hearing everything that we did at Bourbon and Beyond. Be sure to check out next week's episode, which is like our wrap up with Fred Minnick and Paul Blackburn and Autumn from Jephthah Creed. So be sure to check that out. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. This has been a lot of fun. This has been about the best YouTube live stream I've had so far. So I will see you guys next week. But until then, I'm Perry, and this is my Bourbon Podcast live stream. Cheers, y'all.